too hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Buffalo Bills. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready. 10-2 stop.
Check safety.
X3, 218, chopper. Crouch. Hey, Sam off.
Watch out. Jump.
Get it.
They begin with a run by Smith. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
General West.
On 2nd down, here's Aikman. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
The pass to Brown as he hauls it in. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Brown signed with the Bills in March. Last year he was in Baltimore, 4 seasons in Arizona prior to that, but they're hoping that Brown can add a lot of speed to this offense, which he should. Last year in Baltimore, 715 yards and 5 touchdowns. To throw again on 2nd down. Kelly, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
You know, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Let's go now. 90 Wolf. Let's go.
On third down, Kelly. Room to run past midfield. And able to find John Brown. And finally taken down at the 34. A very solid gain of 27. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to it. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 33-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Recon, 132 fighter. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Check.
Now Thomas. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
50, plant, pilot, 64, weak. 2.
Kelly. And that is incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on third downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that hollow metal sound is the bane of any kicker's existence. And here, that sound is going to keep our game scoreless.
And you could see him give that body English as the ball was in the air. Come on, baby, come on. But no dice that time.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
You don't want none. Check 13.
Rock it, get it.
They'll run with Smith. Room here to run. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Yardage-wise, he's in the top handful of backs in the league so far this season. A great run there.
He's going to love that standing when it comes to contract time. But even more so, his team loves it because he gives them an identity and sets a tone.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Shoot! Watch the safety creep. Switch.
Let's go, get set. Let's go.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
49 the mic. Watch
5.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
Now Aikman to throw on 2nd down. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Ready. Hey, Charlie, 10 Lobo, go.
Here we go. 50. Mike 50. You ain't going nowhere.
Ready.
Aikman operating from the gun. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
His guys take over 1st and
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. On the ground with the rookie Devin Singletary. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, it's Thomas. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On the ready.
54. Mike 54. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Let's go.
On 3rd down, it's Thomas. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year, franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, Echo.
Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check.
Now.
Watch the pass. Hey, no, look, we got Mike 50. Mike 50.
Get it.
On 1st and 10, it's Aikman. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Check 99. Check.
Protein spill.
Hey, check 24. Check 24. Hey, switch gears. Switch gears.
Go out. Let's go.
On the counter, it's Smith, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, Aikman. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Kelly. And his throw is incomplete. Robert Foster, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Kelly to throw. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little.
And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust? the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Kelly now to throw again. Buying time to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Now Austin. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Ready? Throwing on 2nd and 8. Kelly. This will be caught by Brown. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play here for the Bills. 49 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They run with Thomas. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll keep it on the ground. Thomas, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Here we go. 90 Wolf.
Here's Kelly to throw on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5, past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2 at the 20-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Hey, orbit.
49, guys.
Hey.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
On 2nd down, Aikman. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 36 yards on the play. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
Jerry Hughes on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
60 outlaw.
Man, I got you. 36. Watch.
Hey, lock it. Now.
They go back to the ground with Smith. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Check 43. General West.
Here's Kelly. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
Back now in Arlington. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. Back now in Arlington. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. Kelly on 3rd down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
Got a man. It's Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Kelly. And this one complete to Reed. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To throw, Kelly. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down near the 5. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Look, squeeze.
Shift. Watch the shift.
Hey, Jack.
Two.
And some room to work. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
Hey, alert 3.
Hard. Now.
A first down carry by Elliott. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense, and they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right.
50, plant.
Shift. He's coming. We got double up. Watch the shift.
Bear. Get it.
Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did peak late in ball games.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 45-yard line.
Alert 3. Check nickel. Shift.
Look at me. Go.
This is Smith. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Defensively, they know the situation. They stack the line. Heck, that was a goal line set right there.
And it's the right play for them, exactly what they have to do. They want to take away every gap, every crack, and make sure no one can get through it. But here's the deal, though. You've worked on offense all year long about these types of defensive fronts. If they can penetrate it at all, your runner has a chance to go a long way behind.
It could be a house call. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
SOS. No. Slam. Hit it.
Now it's Aikman. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off down at the 10. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Under pressure now, and they get to Kelly. Robert Quinn in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. After the sack on first down, Kelly caught on the right side. Reed stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Out of the gun, it's Kelly. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. To throw is Kelly. Throwing on fourth down. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
Let's go. San Tucson.
Six guys. Check six guys. He's coming. Double up. Double up. He's coming.
Go out.
Hey, hey, watch this. Watch this. Kill, kill, kill.
Speed grip. Speed grip.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Forbeth, the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Ready up.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
We got right. Here we go. Here we go.
Bravo.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one has gone as time has run out on this ball game. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Cowboys, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, this could hurt in the race for home field advantage as they drop to 10-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.